you invented Jelly Belly jelly beans. If
Wait,
anybody's watching this for the
that's
first
just a
time.
rumor out there. Isn't that just a
Yeah,
rumor?
well, yeah, yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore, are you?
How?
I don't know.
This is the Candyman, where dreams and friendships grow. Welcome to the show. 1976, with a sweet inventive twist, he crafted the perfect jelly bean. Colors bright, a flavor so right, the best you've ever seen. Mentoring in business is what he likes, and chatting with friends too. Come hang out, click subscribe, share our journey with someone new. This is the Candyman.
Want to welcome Stephanie. Stephanie,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come in nice and clear. You might notice behind me is a head of Howdy Doody. I don't know if anybody out there remembers watching Howdy Doody as a youngster, but Howdy Doody made up a lot of my daytime entertainment. And what I thought was interesting is one of the characters on there was Clarabelle the Clown. And what was unique about Clarabelle is he wasn't allowed to talk. He never talked. He had a bell of some kind of a musical instrument. He never talked until the very, very last show. He said, "Hello, boys and girls," at the very last show before they went off the air. And what I find very interesting, Clarabelle, he became Captain Kangaroo. Same guy. Clarabelle the Clown was Captain Kangaroo. And a lot of people don't accept that. They don't want to believe that he was the same guy. And I was once serving in the Army. I was up in Lake Ashway, some kind of lake up there. I don't know. Near Oregon, Lake Ashway, very ritzy area. On a little couple-day leave. I was on a, what do they call when you're on a leave? Army leave?
I think it's called leave, isn't it?
Must be a leave. And the first guy that I went up to on the bus, to start the conversation, I said to him, "Do you happen to know who Clarabelle the Clown became? What did he do after he was Clarabelle?" And he said, "Yeah, he was Captain Kangaroo." And I was really amazed because I didn't think too many people knew about that. It would make a great bar. Not that I ever bet in bars, because I don't,
Oh, great bar.
I've never had a drink that I remember. I don't think
There's
so.
always time,
No, I didn't. Over time, maybe one. I don't think so. I don't really drink. Not that I have any problem with anybody else drinking. I worked in a liquor store from the age of 5.5 to 13. I think watching so many people come in the morning, especially in the summertime, because I got there really early in the morning when I didn't have school, watching people drink and actually having the shakes and so many stories.
That's a struggle a lot of people have, and it's sad with a lot of different things, you know?
A lot of different,
Yeah.
a lot of different things. So this is our first episode. We're calling it an episode, I think. Any better answer?
I mean, it's
what
your
it is?
show. This is probably my only experience on here. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay. Well,
I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun guests.
I want to explore how we met.
Okay.
A lot of people through the years want to know, how did we meet? How did we meet?
We met,
Yeah.
I want to say it was like 2012.
Wait, first of all, do you feel welcome on the show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
You don't have any objections or anything?
No objections. No, I'm all good.
Okay.
I'm all good.
Good.
I'm used to it. I mean, you did the YouTube channel with us for a while back when we did the gold ticket.
I enjoy
we'll
doing
get into
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did.
You're the extrovert, I'm the introvert,
Uh,
so
so how
um,
do we meet?
we met, I watched, and I think it was on Netflix, your documentary, Candyman, the David Klein story,
Okay.
back when I was living in Illinois,
Right.
and I was mesmerized.
Yeah.
I just thought you oozed
Yeah.
kindness and
That's a phony. That's a
creativity.
phony me. I'm not really kind.
It's you. It's you. And I started looking online and trying to find you, and
Wow.
I found your email
Okay.
and I wrote you, and I think I still have the emails between us. Um,
We were living in California at the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
you and Rebecca, your wife,
Yeah.
and I was in Illinois,
Right.
and I emailed you, and I'm like, "I've got this great idea for a candy product. I'll give it to you. Just make it, and all that
Was
and
I nice?
stuff."
Was I nice to you?
You were so sweet. You were so nice. And it was my idea was a magic 8-ball lollipop. I thought, okay, if you could have a clear lollipop and put something inside there, whether preferably like a text or something that would be, like no way, and you kind of maybe made a wish on it or something.
Okay.
And it would have like, maybe you could do that with rice paper. I don't know if it would. I've not seen anybody do it so far. And that's been 15 years
Now,
almost,
what
or
if
14
somebody
years.
hears you right now and they steal that idea? Is that going to bother you?
No, I'll be thrilled for them.
Oh,
I hope
wow.
they do
What
it.
a kind, what a
I think
kind
we're
person you
similar
are.
like that. We like to see
We
people
like,
have success.
we love seeing people make money.
Yeah.
We really do.
So the idea was then if it was on rice paper inside of there and it was clear, you could see it, but you would dip it into a black um, hard candy. So
Okay.
you'd have to lick it off before you saw the message.
Gotcha.
So that was the idea.
Great
And
idea.
then we sort of just, it had a short conversation and went our separate
Did I
ways.
offer to make the product for you?
Yeah, I think you said, "Oh, you could do that," and it would be like $10,000 for the mold, and I'm like,
Was that just to try to
"Yeah,
get rid of you or no? Uh,
you're so funny."
Did you always think
We
I was
joke
just trying to
about
get rid
this.
of you on that?
No,
No?
I never really thought that.
Oh,
I was
I
just
wasn't.
kidding.
I really wasn't.
So then I think it was 2014, a few years later,
Okay.
we both happened to be on a Facebook group that had to do with business people.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if it was Shark Tank or I think it was Shark
Yeah,
Tank.
it was that Shark Tank group.
But it was run by a guy who was on the Shark Tank with his product.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a weird thing. There's David Klein,
He was a real Shark Tank
contestant,
contestant. Is
I
that the
guess
right
you'd
word,
call him, or
contestant?
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either or.
So you were on there asking really inquisitive
I
questions.
was on there too much.
If you owned, no, that's what he said. You were asking people like, and I always use this as an example.
You're not
If
going
you
to use
owned
the
Tootsie
Tootsie
Roll,
Roll example.
I am.
Okay.
How would you reinvent the product, or what would you do with it
Right.
to make it a success? Well, entrepreneurs love thinking about those kind of things.
Love it.
Everybody was crazy for your questions and having the discussion that you were having.
Very
They
overrated.
went nuts. And the guy who was running that Facebook group, I think he got a little,
He called me.
jealous.
He contacted me.
Yeah. And he said, "Oh, do you think you can not post so much?"
he
And
said,
you're like,
no, he didn't.
"What?"
He didn't pose it as a question. He said, you're posting too much.
Oh,
You're hogging.
okay.
This is my show. You're hogging it.
Yeah.
And
It's
what
just
did I
weird
say to
because it
him?
never was like that way. You didn't say anything. You just
Oh,
walked away.
I walked away.
And everybody's like, "Where is he
Where
at?
did
Where's
that
the
guy go?
Candyman? Where's David Klein?
Where did
Where
that guy
is
go?
he?" So I messaged you because I had your, email. And I said, "Hey, everybody's looking for you. What's going
Yeah,
on?"
where
And,
are
and you
you?
explained the situation. And you said, "I'm just not going to post anymore."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Well, then you need your own group. You need to get on there." And, people love hearing that. So you just ignored me. And then I asked again,
Right.
and you ignored me. And I said, I figured, okay, maybe you didn't know how to start your own group. So I started it and I just invited you onto the group, and the rest is history. You were
Wow.
on there within like an hour, you had like 800 people on your Facebook group. And at the time, it was called the David Klein Entrepreneur Group. And you'd mentor people, you know? Anybody had any kind of business questions, you'd give your, 2 cents in what you would do.
I
And
love talking to people,
yeah, and you love helping people. Yeah.
helping people.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
I
that
do.
was a lot of fun. So that's kind of how we met. And then I was leaving Illinois. I was going through divorce and I was going to come down to Florida because that's where my mom's at. And you said, you know what? Maybe me and Rebecca will go down to Florida. Let's go. We can start something there or whatever,
Mhm.
And so you packed up and both basically spur of the moment moved down to Florida. And so that's where we are now.
And how many years ago was that roughly?
16.
Oh.
It's almost, 8 years ago. So
And in the beginning, where
pretty
did we
cool.
move? Where did we move to? Was it Clearwater?
Clearwater. And you opened up a candy shop.
Yes, I did.
And I helped you with that.
What was the
We're
name
kind of like business partners. You do something and I try and support you.
Right.
And I do something and you try and support me. And it's been cool.
What was the name of that candy store? Do you remember?
Candyman Kitchens.
Candyman
Mhm.
Kitchens.
Yeah. And the problem with that store was
Many problems.
the problem was it was too busy
Too busy.
there.
It was too busy. People couldn't find parking.
People couldn't get in and out
In and
of
out
there.
of the parking lot.
But remember you were in the news with it and everything?
We were on television,
Uh-huh.
an ABC affiliate. Belcher. What was his name?
Charlie Belcher.
Good old Charlie
But you
Belcher.
were also with the food critic,
Riley.
Laura Riley.
Laura Riley.
And what happened when you were on that show?
She came over to interview me, and right while she was there was a fire inside the building. Do you remember? Do you remember
I
that
do.
fire?
The popcorn machine started a fire smoking in there.
Yeah, we had a popcorn machine that was activated by a quarter, I think. Was it a quarter, or do you need
I think
4
quarter,
quarters?
yeah. No, it was a quarter, I think.
Well-
Oh, maybe it was 4. I think you're right.
I don't know. I love that machine. It was air popped, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or did it use oil?
No, it was air popped. There was no oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any
Yeah.
idea how the machine caught fire?
Yeah, I was helping you with cleaning. And I cleaned it and I turned the plexiglass that went in front of it a certain way where you could actually read what it said. Apparently, it was supposed to be installed where it was upside down. So it really isn't my fault. It's the person who installed that sticker on the machine probably 50 years ago.
Nobody's looking to place
But that's what happened.
nobody's looking to place the blame on you. I mean, you tried your best.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But that was pretty hilarious because she ended up putting it in the article that she was writing, which I think you can still probably find online.
Oh, I'm sure we had no problem finding. And then what happened 2 days later?
The fire marshal came in and shut you down from doing any manufacturing in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we moved north. Clearwater was too busy too.
Beautiful city.
Didn't you feel it? Yeah, it's like the best place to visit, but you don't want to live there.
We once did an event there on the sand is actually, it's white.
Yeah.
That's not a phony.
I think it's like one of the number 1 beaches in the world.
Gorgeous beach. And we once ran into Tom Cruise there at an Aldi.
We did.
Of all.
Right down the street. I don't know why we just happened to be in that neighborhood, and
you wouldn't figure Tom Cruise would shop in an Aldi, would you? Maybe it's healthy food. I don't know.
Maybe not. You know what I think it was, which it's not usually cold in Clearwater.
Right.
And I honestly think that it was really cold that day, and he was able to wear like a hat and bundle up and kind of not really be noticed. And I think he probably just wanted to get out, but it was really interesting. He was with a lady who was like extremely classy. And if you've been, I mean, you've been to Aldi's, you don't typically see people dressed to the nines like that,
No,
you know?
no.
And then there was like a,
How close did I come to see him? How close was I to him?
well, I called you up because I was inside. I'm like, Jesus, Tom Cruise is in here. And next thing I know, I see you waltzing in the store and you like sit up on the counter where everybody does the groceries right next to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. But you didn't say
I
anything.
didn't make
You
any
would
contact with him at all.
you were being very respectful,
You know what?
which I wish you hadn't been.
I feel that they're actors.
Maybe he would have invited us over. I know he's like got the Scientology thing going, but
You know what?
I like everybody. I like,
I respect any belief that anybody has. You
yeah,
know?
I do too.
Was,
Yeah, we're the same in that.
yeah, I really, really do.
Yeah.
So
So that was pretty cool.
how much longer did we stay in Clearwater?
Not too much longer. I mean, we both felt that it was just too crowded for driving around. It just was
It took
too busy.
it took an hour just to get to McDonald's.
It did.
And
Yeah.
you know. All right. So
Yeah.
then where did we move to after that?
Well, you and Rebecca lived like 10 doors down.
Right.
And then me and my kids lived in a house nearby. And I think there was like a murder down the street. We're like,
There was
and then there was like in your neighborhood, and you were living in a mobile home at first,
there was
and
there was
were
a
3
murder.
fires within like 3 months or something like that. And you're like,
Wait,
I
how
think
many
this
how
is
many
where
did
we
you
should
say?
live.
How many were there?
3
3. Yeah.
fires.
And the
Yeah.
houses were completely destroyed.
Yeah. And
Completely.
I could see you called me up and you're like, hey, there's a fire. I could see, I mean, it was like
Destroyed.
so high in the air,
Destroyed.
the flames.
Yeah.
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 So
It was very
we
sad.
looked
It got
and
to
we
the
found,
they found what?
no, I found a duplex to move to in the Ocala area.
Right.
And that was great because you and Rebecca could live in your own place
Right.
and me and the kids could live in ours.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
wait, my son had moved back to Illinois by that time. So me
Right.
and my daughter. Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that it got to the point where they brought a police substation into the mobile home community where the
Yeah.
police
Because they
were
thought
operating
that
out of
somebody
the
was
mobile
setting
home?
the fires there.
And you know what's weird?
Hmm.
After all the reading that I do about, I read everything.
Right.
I know it was never covered by the press. I mean, were they trying to keep the fires secret?
I don't know.
Did you ever read about it? You read a lot too.
No,
Never.
I never heard anything else from
Never.
it.
So,
So then, ironically, we moved to the Ocala area, and who lives across the street?
don't
Another
know.
Scientologist.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And who?
John Travolta.
John Travolta's across the street.
Yeah.
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 He's a good guy, I think. We've never met him, but we did go into his neighborhood once. Remember that?
Should we be talking about that?
Why not?
Why not? Sure.
It was fun. That was like 4 years ago. There's a
Statute of
it's a gated
limitations.
community. Yeah, I don't think they'll go after us. We didn't even do anything. What could their damages be?
No damages. But we were on his runway.
Yeah, accidentally I drove on the runway. I'm like,
Hey, get off the runway.
I don't think we should be here.
Get off the
Yeah,
runway.
and his streets at his corner were named after his kids,
Yeah.
Emma and Jet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So that was neat. They were selling the airstrip, I
Right.
think, at the time, and they must have left the gate open for contractors to go in and out.
Right.
So it was like the only chance we had to go in.
Yeah.
And it was neat. It's really a cool place.
We felt like we were kids getting away with something.
Right?
And we were, because
I think we are kids, really.
we are.
I think most people are kids. They've got their inner kid.
But I hear so many stories about John. I
Mhm.
call him John like I know him, you know.
Like your buddies.
But he's a
Yeah.
he's a good
You
man.
ask everybody. If we have like the pest control guy come or the cable guy come, have you ever met John Travolta?
Yeah.
And you've gotten some good stories out of that.
Yeah, he only comes out at night. They make him sound
Yes.
like he's Who
Yep.
comes out at night?
They
Dracula?
tell us the restaurants he goes to.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You'd be able to see him at Denny's. He frequents his Denny's, but it's always at
And
night.
Red Lobster.
Oh, and he always is willing to wait. I gotta adjust my deals.
Oh.
He's what are these things called? Headphones?
Headphones, yeah.
He's always willing to sign autographs and things like that. And
Yeah, the one guy saw him at a movie theater,
right.
and he said that he called him over, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, sure, you can get a photo with me. Hey, bring your family up
Yeah.
here, and let's get everybody." And he was all happy. I guess when he came out with the movie Wild Hogs, they actually rode from his house to the movie theater to watch the I don't know
Oh,
if it was a premiere or whatever.
wow.
Isn't that cool? I mean, all the actors and everything. That was a great
Yeah.
movie.
It's sad. He lost his wife, Kelly, and
Yeah.
I lost my wife, Rebecca.
Yeah.
40, we were
Yeah.
married 49 years.
Wow.
49 years.
Wow. That
Yeah.
was sad.
Yeah.
Very
Very,
sad.
very, very sad.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But you gave her a good life.
well, I hope
And I'm
so.
sure she gave
I-
you a good life.
Yeah, she did.
Well,
A
you know,
fantastic mother.
you always give her credit for doing different things with the kids and stuff like that.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know if you know it or not, but she had a teaching credential. Did you know that?
I think so. Didn't you say she went to Europe or something? Was it because, or she was in
No,
school?
no.
I thought she was
she
overseas
was a
in
student
school.
at the time when she went to England.
Huh?
She loved art. She was fantastic with art. She
Yeah.
would do these sculptures with clay, and she had a kiln.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know anybody that ever had a kiln?
I had a kiln, but I did glass fusing. I didn't do any pottery.
What was the
I'd
br-
like to do pottery.
what was the brand of the kiln? Was it a Crown?
Oh, I don't know. It was a ceramic kiln, so everything I fired, I would say half the things worked and half of them
Yeah.
didn't work. They
Yeah.
busted up or something because you have to have a certain schedule.
Right.
And it's kind of temperamental when you're doing glass fusing in a ceramics kiln.
Well, she had a wheel, and she did all kinds of creative things. She was very, very innovative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, but
Very
she's a great
cool.
mom too. She two wonderful kids.
Yeah.
Roxy, the girl, and Bert,
The girl, the
Bert,
daughter.
the boy,
and
and
Yeah.
Bert is
they're extremely successful, aren't they?
yeah. Bert is an animator. He has been for over 30 some odd years
Yeah.
at Disney.
That's amazing. You've
And
got to be proud.
yes, very, very proud.
That is so cool.
And Roxanne Roxanne was involved with Sandy Candy for about 15 years.
Yeah.
And then she needed a change in careers.
Yeah.
And so she is now, for the last 6, 7 years maybe,
Mm-hmm.
she sells commercial real estate in the Inland Empire,
Wow.
still in California. They're both still living in California.
Wow. So if
And,
anyone's looking for commercial real estate in that area,
Yeah.
who should they look for?
yeah, commercial. Look,
Roxy Klein?
Roxy Klein, yes.
Roxanne Klein?
Yeah, contact me. I'll give you her phone number.
There you go.
Uh, But we,
She is a go-getter like you are, though.
Roxanne is, she's
I hear
tremendous.
you taking orders for Sandy Candy, like, because you still do that.
When she,
And it's fascinating. I mean, it's amazing. The people who remember her miss her
they're
and
still
talk so highly of
they're
her.
still talking about her. When Roxy
Yeah.
used to do trade shows,
Uh-huh.
which we're going to be resuming very soon.
Yeah.
Maybe Roxy would like to come back and make a couple.
I'm sure she would just laugh at that. I think she's very happy
She,
doing real estate.
we used to get from American Express these things to hold orders at the show, where these women
Clipboards, like
a backboard was a backboard
clipboard.
that American Express gives for free. By the way, most people
Yeah.
aren't aware of that. because it has their name on it.
Mhm.
And she used to hand them out to the ladies at the booth.
Mhm.
I said to her at times, "Do you want me to come down to the convention center
Mhm.
when the shows were local?" She said, "Dad, I can handle this myself." She was
That's
a one,
amazing. And that was, like, starting in high school,
yeah,
wasn't it?
right. She's a
I mean,
one-person operation, one
I
person.
think that's one of the coolest things about Sandy Candy is I've seen, like, you start, like, families into selling it
Oh, yeah.
at different events and everything like that. For, I don't know, kids outdoor
Ri
events and everything in the summer,
right,
and,
and
I think that's one of the neatest things if you've got young kids as a parent to start a little business side hustle doing Sandy Candy, and you're teaching them something that they can take over.
uh, the the greatest gift you can give your kids
Mhm,
is that they know that how to make money, and that it
mhm.
doesn't just fall from the sky,
Yeah,
and there's nothing quite like experiencing making money and knowing that you earn the money,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think
And
that's the
that's what you
problem.
want as a parent too, is you want to do anything in your power to help your children have financial security one day,
Exactly.
when you're not around and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, Roxy used to have the ladies fill out their own,
Order
invoices
forms or something.
with,
Yeah.
with the backing of that American Express uh, to write on. They use that to write
Mhm.
on, and I used to order, like, 20 of them from them.
Wow.
I said, "What's the limit?" They said, "How many do you want?"
Oh, wow.
So, uh, at times, I would get 20 of those, and I never
You
know
know
what
a
it
lot about, like, the freebies from your company when you're ordering things from, like, Uline.
right? Oh, yeah, if you ever order from Uline, great company. You could call Uline at 3 in the morning. I should call them, like, right now. Well, obviously, they're there now, but
Yeah.
at 3 in the morning, they're there, and they answer
Mhm.
the phone, and they
Yeah.
know who you are,
Mhm.
and if you owe them money, they will take payment right then and there with a credit card.
Yeah, customer service is not what it used to be,
Yeah. Try
you know?
calling to so many businesses, they don't even wanna answer the phone anymore.
Yeah.
They don't oh, you know what? Order online. We only take online payment,
Mhm.
and, it's a different world out there today.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
uh, we didn't we once go on a treasure hunt? What kinda hunt were we on? What were we hunting
Oh, yeah,
for?
that's okay. So we met online,
Yeah,
I mean, through that whole thing, and then I was treasure hunting for the Forest Fen treasure hunt,
okay,
where it's a guy who, he was, like, around 80 at the time,
okay,
and he lived in Santa Fe,
okay. Santa Fe, New
and
Mexico.
he right,
Okay.
was really rich, and he hid a $1,000,000 treasure out in the Rocky Mountains.
Wow.
So I was doing that, and you're like, "Hey," well, I was going with my ex-husband at the time, and he didn't wanna go anymore,
Mm,
and so I'd bring some friends. I had Trish and Jared and different people that would go with me, JC, and you're like, "I'll go," because nobody could go one time or something like that, and you're like, "I'll go," and I'm like, "Well, you never left the office. Are you sure? Do you realize this is, like, out in the wilderness?" And you're like, "I'm for it. I'm there." And
I was outside my element,
yeah, yeah. So we connected
and
and
Rebecca went along also.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were in Colorado Springs at the Garden of the Gods and uh I searched there.
What did Rebecca
You were
like?
there for moral support for the most part, but
Yeah,
you were up there. Remember you went like climbing up on that one rock and
yeah, I remember that.
that huge rock. I don't know what they call it. Yeah.
Oh, in
In
Colorado.
Garden of the Gods. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. We went to Red Rock. We went to Yellowstone. We went to Mount Rushmore area,
Didn't you get a
lots of
ticket?
places.
Did you get a ticket there in Red Rock? Sh Should we
You're
talk
always
about
looking
that?
for that interesting story. Yeah. I was going down out of Red Rock
This is a
after we had
precautionary.
searched.
This is a precautionary
Yeah.
tale.
Anybody who ever goes to Red Rock, this is a very important tip.
This will save you $200.
Yes. As you're leaving, there's like one road in, one road out, I think. And as you're leaving, there is a road that's downhill. And the speed limit is like 20 miles per hour. It's like impossible to go down that hill and not have your brakes smoking
Can't do it.
to go down that hill. They get you. You know, I think that might have been my first ever ticket in my whole entire life. And I got a ticket leaving Red Rock on that little hill through the town, 20 miles an hour.
And they make it very convenient for you to pay it. Like you're going to pay it before you leave town.
Yeah, they've got this gigantic mailbox on the outside of City Hall or the police station or something like that says, pay your tickets here. Because they know everybody's coming in probably from out of town.
Sure.
And they're not coming back for, you know.
And I heard rumors that the town has how many Cadillacs?
Oh.
Or am I making that up?
They've got, what is it called? Like when you've got the people who, like not the FBI, the SWAT team.
Yes.
They've got, I mean, here's a town that's got 200 people in it.
But a SWAT,
and they've
their
got,
own SWAT.
they've got their own SWAT for like
team,
the entire
yes.
state. Like
Crazy.
20, I don't know what they are, like steel built machines or something like that, tanks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, amazing.
We never said, by the way, speaking of tanks, but I won't go into that you invented Jelly Belly jelly beans.
I know.
If anybody's watching this for the first time.
That's just a rumor out there. Isn't that just a rumor?
Yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore, are you? I don't know.
How do we even know that I was the guy? Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I just dreamt that I was. Is that possible?
Yeah, well, people should watch your documentary. It's free on YouTube. Candyman, the David Klein story.
Candyman, the David Klein story.
Yeah.
And I do stand behind everything that's in there.
The only thing that I take issue with about your documentary is it didn't go into, and if somebody hasn't seen it, just pause here so I don't ruin it for you.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin it for you.
But it doesn't go into that you really were not given any other choice but to sell the trademark.
That's true.
I mean, I know that your director, wanted to do it the way they did it and everything like that, but I do wish that they had been okay with putting in there that you really had no choice. They told you, the Herman Golitz company told you that if you didn't sell them the trademark, that they would go back and rename the product and sell the bean under their name. And they knew that you would, I think you told me this, that I don't know if it's in the documentary, that he knew that you would sue them, but by the time it got to court, it wouldn't matter really. They would have had a success.
I would have been broke.
They knew all your customers.
Sure. They
were
shipping the people because the orders were drop shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just really sad. Now, why couldn't you go to another place manufacturer? Because, I mean, I know I've seen you try to, find a co-manufacturer, and I'm thinking, gosh, that was back in the, 1980. It would have been impossible to find somebody with that type of machinery to make that, have all new molds made for it being a tiny one. And the only companies that you knew of that were out there already had, like Teeny Beanie, they already had a contract. So you couldn't have had them make it. So it was like, if you did not accept that, dilemma, I don't know what I have other words, but I'll say dilemma. You were just going to lose everything anyway. But people look at you like you made a bad choice. I honestly don't see that you had any choice. No. Any good choice.
You would
have lost everything.
There really wasn't.
No. And now I watch what you're going through with this lawsuit stuff.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It really is.
It really is.
They're making it out like you're saying that you said that you were the founder of their company.
Yeah, I never founded their company. Why?
no.
Why would I?
You ran everything under a Jelly Belly company,
Right.
and so because you said that, and maybe they didn't remember that you had a company. I guess they say you weren't incorporated, so it doesn't count
Yeah,
or
they
something
make it
like that.
sound like I was an unincorporated entity.
Yeah, but you had checks that said the Jelly Belly,
Yeah.
and
I,
I know you've got a book up there that even says that you were the president of the Jelly Belly.
yeah,
So,
I know.
and then, you see, I don't know, people think of you, they see that and they think that you're a liar when you're
Um,
not.
I,
And
I want, I wanted
that's
to let
part
everybody know that
hurts.
coming out with a book, and
Hmm.
the book should be out within a month, I would say.
You put a lot of work into that.
Tremendous amount of work. And the title is going to be It's
What?
Time to Spill the Beans. It's time to spill the beans.
Yeah.
And it's pretty
When's
much
that coming out?
not holding back on anything because at my age in life, I'm 78 years old.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's just
what's
it.
to hold
I
back
mean,
anymore?
why can't, I don't know, that hurts. You're 78
Yep.
and they have you in the court system.
Yeah. I'm spending
I mean,
half
this
my
is now
di-
Herman Golitz changed their name to the Jelly Belly Candy Company,
right. And that's where the
and
problem,
they were bought by somebody,
right?
right?
They're now owned
A
by
new company?
a company based out of Italy.
Yeah. And they're a billion-dollar company, aren't they?
Yep.
I don't know how
Yeah.
what,
Huge.
and they're still going after you
Yeah.
at 78
Can you believe that?
for a product that
That made
I'll
them.
cry if I keep going, but a product that
Yeah. I know.
you created that made so many people so much money.
Yeah.
I really, sorry, I'm like also the emotional one,
Wait.
but
There used to be a show called Queen for a Day.
yeah,
You're too young to remember that show.
what's that show about?
Queen. One lady was made the queen for the day, and she was given all kinds of things, and she usually cried, and the crying did
Okay,
something.
well, then I'll be queen for the day. And my hope would be that people throw their support towards you with this book and you find out some way that everybody reads what you have to say.
It's a good book.
I really hope.
It's a
I
good
hope
book.
it goes viral, and I hope people,
Good book.
because everybody deserves their,
Their
right
voice.
to
Their
speak their
voice.
history. Yeah.
Their voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
So that'll be good.
and we're hoping also, we've already
Hmm.
have 2 orders from entrepreneur classes that they're going to be
Yeah.
using it as their
Oh, they're going to have it in the class?
they're going to
That's
be using
cool.
as their
You've
textbook.
actually taught at entrepreneur, or not taught, I guess spoke at
I
entrepreneur
did.
classes, college, well, and even kid classes.
Yeah,
I remember
anywhere.
you, who was it? Rebecca from Blind Tiger.
Right.
Remember
Of course.
yeah, she was like the head of an entrepreneur class,
Mhm.
and she kind of did some help with you. And remember she sent the samples of the Blind Tiger,
I do.
and you can go, I think, to Wegmans
Of
and
course.
other places. I'm on her Facebook page, Rebecca Stein.
Yeah.
She did a TED Talk
Good lady.
once.
Good lady.
A real good lady. And we
Smart.
tasted those. I had never tasted anything so unique. It's like a alcohol mixer, but you don't have to have it like that. You could just have it,
Non-alcohol.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's fantastic. But she had you talking to like a 7th grade class or something on entrepreneurship or something.
What do you
Wasn't it
do?
her? Am I right on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was.
Talk
Yeah.
by
Or maybe hers was because she worked at a college.
no,
Maybe
we
that
talked
was
by
because
Zoom.
you've done it multiple times.
We did it by Zoom or something like that. What
Yeah,
happens
hers
if
probably were
somebody's
college kids.
college kids? What happens if somebody has to scratch their nose and they're live on this? What
I'm
do they do?
always, you scratch your nose. I do it. I don't
Can
know.
you do
I
it like
can't help it.
sneaky where nobody's looking?
You're such a character.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. So what's new with you?
well, let's see. Working on a new line of jelly beans of all things.
Yeah. I was involved with that at one time.
Yeah,
I just said, see, now I got to do my nose,
it's the power
in
of
your mind,
suggestion, I think.
right?
These are going to be coffee flavored jelly beans. Coffee.
Yeah. I'm not really into the candy thing. I got my own stuff
I
going,
know.
but
I know you do.
I hope it works out good because those were such fantastic flavors and stuff like that.
And do you remember the reason why we couldn't progress any further in the
I do, and I've got my own opinion on that.
yeah,
We had done a Kickstarter on that because
Kickstarter, right?
you wanted to
Was
get the word
successful.
out there. It was
Successful
very,
campaign.
very, very successful.
Yep.
And you had a company, which I won't say who it is. Should I?
Don't
No.
need to mention any names, but we all know who they
Texas.
are.
um, they were going to make it. They sent samples and everything like that. You worked with the contract manufacturer there that makes custom,
Right?
and they were making the flavors for you. And once everything was over with, you went to give them $4,000 to place your first order, and they said, "Oh, the owner said that he can't take your money um, because you did a Kickstarter." And I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
Who turns down $4,000? Who? Who turns down $4,000 order when you've been, I mean, that's crazy. I've never in my life heard. I don't think that's normal."
And they
I
refused the
happened
order.
to look, they refused the order.
Yeah.
And I happened to look at somebody's, I don't know if it was his or the owner's uh, LinkedIn account. And sure enough, there was somebody from a company
And not to
that
mention any names.
that said they were good friends.
Yeah. So
Um,
we think.
so I don't know.
We think. Who knows?
There's no way to know.
Who knows?
So I'm not saying anything, but
Yep.
I don't know. So
Th-
but now I think you've got that all dialed in.
Yep.
I think you figured out how to get around that. And I think you're going to be successful with it. I
Yeah.
really do.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
I think you've got support from people who see so much in this world, in this life about bad people, and they see that how good you are.
You know what?
And huh,
Instead of the word bad, maybe just use the word greedy. Greedy.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
everybody has goodness in them.
Mhm.
And once in a while, if you let greed take over and
Mhm.
realize that there's enough for everybody.
Yeah, you say that all the time. When you talk to people, I hear you saying that.
I love
There's
when
enough in
people
it for everybody.
are
You don't need
successful.
to
You don't
cheat
need it all.
somebody. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to take the football with you. Just leave it
Mhm.
there for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it resonates with a lot of people, and I think I see the people in your life that just adore you and everything, and that's okay. You don't put the band out. I'll do the band because I think you're fantastic. So
Thank you. Thank you.
you know,
Thank you for being our first guest.
thank you
Do
for
you realize
having
you're the
me.
first guest on the on the channel? The
Yes,
channel.
on the channel. You don't
It
like that
sounds
word?
so, like, hey,
Egotistical,
what
or is it?
channel? But this
I
is a
don't
good
know.
opportunity
Show,
to
podcast. Say podcast.
on the podcast. Oh,
There you go.
I like that,
Yeah.
and plan on doing a lot more of these.
Yeah. I
Subscribe.
wish you well.
What should people do? Subscribe and whatever you do. I don't
And share your story with a lot of people.
share.
That's what I hope. I think, you're 78, like you said. Let's do this, let's support you,
Sounds
that's
like
what
a
I
good
feel.
plan.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming aboard,
Thank you.
and great days ahead.
Sounds good.
Here's your moment, here's your stage. Craft your story page by page. Make every day a great day. Start with today. In your hands the power stays. To paint your skies not gray. Decide the vibe, ride the wave. Let's live the life we crave. Every morning brings a chance. Let's start with a dance. The Candyman believes in you. Here's your moment, here's your stage. Craft your story page by page. Make every day a great day. Start with today. In your hands the power stays. To paint your skies not gray. Decide the vibe, ride the wave. Let's live the life we crave. Every morning brings a chance. Let's start with a dance. The Candyman believes in you. Here's your moment, here's your stage. Craft your story page by page. Make every day a great day. Start with today.